Hello Madam Alia and my fellow friends. I am Ariana, together with my partner Liliana Sherin. Today, we would like to present on the topic Media Controversial Cases Involving Celebrity. So, we have chosen 3 cases. The first case is from International, which is involving the celebrity named Kanye West. And for the local cases, we had chosen the case that involved Nelidia Senrose, and the next one is Nur Fazura. First of all, let me explain to you about what was the issue all about. So, the first case is from the international, which involved an American rapper, record producer, and also a fashion designer named Kanye Omari West, or well known as Kanye West. Kanye West was sued by the record label called EMI for alleged breach of contract after he said that his agreement was a kind of bondage. It was said that EMI had filed this kind of lawsuit as a countersuit against West for breach of contract in response to the lawsuit that had been reported by West before. Back in 2003, West had signed a 7-year agreement with EMI, which was extended in 2014. However, at the end of January, West filed a lawsuit in which he stated that the contract violated the terms of agreements because it has been extended for more than 7 years without even granting him a moment of freedom for himself and his life or career. In September, it was reported that perhaps EMI and West had agreed to settle the agreement, but it was discovered that these plans had come to an abrupt in December. We have chosen 2 local cases, which both of the cases are about the breach of contract by the Malaysian celebrity. The first case is involving the Malaysian celebrity, which is an actress and also a model. The name of the celebrity is Nikzaris Nelidia binti Niksen, or usually known as Nelidia Senrose. Recently, the cosmetics firm Crescent Malaysia has sued actress Nelidia Senrose for allegedly failing to uphold an agreement as a brand ambassador that she signed in 2018. The founder and managing director of Crescent Malaysia, Mandy Leong, asked Nelidia to pay 160,000 as a compensation fees. The fee will cover the amount that already transferred to Nelidia by Crescent Malaysia as well as the loss accumulated as a result of her unlawful action throughout their contract. Nelidia decided to agree to the company's contract for becoming the ambassador, and they had already paid her 102,000, which is about 70% of the total amount they had promised her. However, she failed to perform her duties and responsibilities when she did not carry out promotions and advertising duties as set out in the contract. They were all very frustrated that the actress did not cooperate as a product ambassador as she engaged in a single product photography session. The next local case is also involving a Malaysian actress. Her real name is Nur Fazura binti Sharifuddin and called as Fazura. She is also a singer and an entrepreneur. On the year 2019, she was appeared on screen in the movie Revenge of the Pontianak. Fazura is married to a very famous Malaysian actor which starred in the drama named Playboy Itu Suami Aku, that is Abdul Fattah bin Muhammad Amin, or known as Fattah Amin. On 16 December 2017, the owner of Medan Trading, Nur Hamdan Abdul Malik, sued the celebrity whose real name is Nur Fazura Sharifuddin. He claimed that she had launched her own health and beauty product named True Dolly, while the agreements between Fazura and Medan Trading is still in effect. He declared that he had entered into an agreement with Universal Music on 10 August, the same year, so that Fazura will be able to market Q-Tip, which is a chewable candy product for hair, skin, and nail health that he operated and sold. According to the terms of agreements or contract, Fazura had been asked to market the product on social media over a 6-month period, in particular by using her own Instagram account. She was also required to appear in any pictures and videos for use by Nar Hamdan in the marketing of the product. In this case, Nar Hamdan claimed that the contract had been violated by Fazura at the end of September 2017, when Fazura launched a separate health and beauty product by herself called True Dolly True Beauty by Fazura, and marketed the product while the contract was still in effect, which is on 10 August 2017, and claimed that the product had created competition for the Q-Tip product and that as the marketing or promoting of the product had been disregarded, which had caused him to result in a huge amount of loss in sales. He demanded the return of 156,000 paid in August 2017 as a compensation in the amount of 141,755 ringgit and 61 cents. Meanwhile, Fazura, in her own defense, charged on 29 January 2018, argued that she never had signed a contract with the plaintiff named Nar Hamdan Abdul Malik, the owner of Medan Trading. In withdrawing the lawsuit, Supreme Court Judge Dato Muhammad Firuz Jafril declared that there was no breach of contract between the plaintiff and the defendant. Muhammad Firuz stated that the law found that there was no breach of contract was found between Nar Hamdan and Fazura, as the contract had been terminated by Nar Hamdan himself. Next, let me explain about the plaintiff and the defendant of the cases. For the international case, the plaintiff for the case is EMI Music Publishing and the defendant is Kanye West. As for local cases, the first case that involving Nelidia Senrose and Prison Malaysia's Nuran Berhad, the plaintiff is Prison Malaysia's Nuran Berhad. Meanwhile, the defendant is Nelidia Senrose. For the last case, which is also from the local case, the plaintiff is Medan Trading. Meanwhile, the defendant is Nur Fazura. What are the solutions of the cases that can be suggested? So the first one is terminations of contracts. Terminating a contract involves terminating the contract legally until all parties have met their obligations under the terms of the contract. There are a number of reasons that a party should terminate a contract. When and how the contract is terminated. It shall be known if any party has any responsibility for violation of the contract until it has been terminated. The parties to the contract may legally terminate the arrangement for a variety of reasons. One of these will be the impossibility of success. If either or both parties cannot meet their commitments, the contract will be terminated. It must be difficult for anyone to perform. This is referred to as objective impossibility. If anyone else is able to fulfill the duties of a contract, there is no impossibility. As we can see that Nelidia Senrose had failed to commit towards her responsibility as the brand ambassador of a beauty cosmetics company. Nelidia had failed to fulfill her duties as a brand ambassador for the promotion of goods to the tune of 70% of the total amount of the fee decided by both parties when the contract was signed in December 2018. The final solution that can be suggested is negotiated settlement. Negotiations on arbitration deals can be a daunting and often exhausting prospect. A settlement arrangement is often referred to as a compromise agreement, but legally they mean the same thing. In essence, a settlement contract is a legally binding agreement that resolves any claims that you may have against your employer and gives you amount of money in exchange for your job. No matter how terrible you have been handled, try to preserve a sense of decorum. There is nothing wrong with saying in a letter without prejudice that unless the talks are successful, you will see them in court. As we can see in Nelidia's cases, she had been paid an amount of money by the cosmetic company, but she failed to fulfill her duty as the ambassador of the product. Worse, not even a single entry is posted in her social media account as stated in the contract. Nelidia refused to respond in order not to interfere with the proceedings of the case.
Next, the actual verdict of the cases. Case 1, Kanye West. West aims to show that EMI has been wrongly enriched by the West compositions that it has published since October 2010 and seeks a judge to rule that it is now the owner of those works. EMI will take care of the case from the state to the federal court. Case 2, Nelidia Senros. Judge Samsudin Abdullah presided over the proceedings. However, Nelidia declined to comment in order not to interfere with the court proceedings. For the last case, Nur Fazura, Judge Dato Muhammad Firuz dismissed the suit filed by plaintiff because there was no breach of contract happened between plaintiff and defendant. The contract had been terminated by the plaintiff himself. Next, suggestion to prevent the cases. Before initiating court proceedings, it is worth looking at the initial written agreement first to see what options are available. Next, make sure to check and read all the terms and conditions that stated in the agreements carefully before signing it. That's all from us. Thank you.